Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tayler Yarish Show, episode 22. Everybody, we're getting wild out there. There was a shooting in Times Square yesterday. It was like three people. They were all shot in like the foot or something like that. One of them was a tourist who was visiting from. I only mentioned this. I mean, I just sort of looked at it this morning, but I just like this this one fact. She's like a tourist from Rhode Island, came in, wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty. It was closed, and so she went to Times Square and then an altercation broke out, and then she got hit in the foot. It's horrible that that happened. I can't imagine the mindset of like you're coming to New York, you want to have a good time. Oh, maybe it's safe again. Oh, let's check out the Statue. It's closed? Oh, gosh. Well, that's all right. There's always the big lights. There's always the big lights of Midtown we could go see. And then and then she catches one. She's like, God damn it. I told you we should have gone to the MoMA. Oh, God. And then they had like the police chief on the podium or whatever, talking to the press, and he just like this guy, he's not used to talking to the reporters. He just sounded like Ray Romano. He's like, it's an ongoing investigation, and yeah, that's pretty much all we know. And it's been a while since I've heard when the press ask questions a bit. I mean, they really just they throw up the most, well, what are you going to say to New Yorkers who now think they just can't come to Times Square without getting shot? Well, if you honestly think you can't go to Times Square without getting shot, then yeah, stay in your fucking homes. You're a moron if that's what you actually think. And I get it. Shootings don't usually happen literally in the center of Times Square. And that doesn't help trying to get tourists to come back. But maybe, you know what, maybe that could be an attraction. Broadway's coming back. Hey, come catch a Broadway show. And then, come out into the big lights. We have this interactive experience going on where you can get caught up in a turf war between Elmo and the Naked Cowboy. Does that sound good? And then you get shot in the foot. That sounds like fun. Yat, dat, da, da, da. Start spreading the news. Shots fired in the street. Okay. Yeah, man. Lazy day today. I was going to have a show later. It's going to get rained out. What can you do? I went and got coffee this morning. It's this place where I go get coffee, and they offer, like many coffee shops do, they got this, they got the punch card system. You buy 10 coffees, you get one free. And here's where just to give you an insight to where my brain goes. I'm always looking for the hack or the steal or the minor theft in some way. And so they have these punch cards, and I noticed they're just, it's a regular hole punch, but it's a heart-shaped hole punch. So I was like, okay. Immediately go on Amazon and look up heart-shaped hole punch, and they sell them for $8.99. And so I was like, boom, I could order one of those, swipe a couple of the cards, and go to town, And here's where most people would have this idea, and they would, and they'd fuck up, because the amateur move is to take the punch cards and then punch them all the way through. So it's a free coffee every time, because that's how you get caught. You're going to raise the flags, you're going to get greedy, and they're going to be like, they're going to start to recognize you. Even though you have the mask on and like a lot of people go in and out, they're going to notice. It's not every day that somebody comes in there and they have the 10th one free. So they're going to notice if you just, every day you're in there and you get a freaking new one. So what you do is you take a stack of them and you punch like 6 or 7. 6 or 7 of them. Because you're still, that way, you're still going to pay for coffee every once in a while, but you're still saving like 70% of your money. That's a win. That's how you survive in this game. That is the long-term strategy. You punch like 7 of them, and so they recognize you as a guy who, and maybe throw your change in the tip jar and like, oh, this is a good guy. Because then it's realistic that through the the cycle and the rotation of the baristas that work, it's plausible that you could have bought coffees on those off days. So then by the time that barista sees you, they're like, oh, he just bought a bunch of coffee. Oh, next one's free. Boom. And then no barista sees you with the same amount of coffee punches every single time. So feel free to take that if you want. Unfortunately, some coffee shops, they have a stamp system, which is honestly more effective for the coffee shop because it's a lot harder to get a stamp, just like a generic, stamp at the hole punch, a heart-shaped hole punch. Give me a fucking break. I mean, kind of asking for it. But that's the move, man. It reminded me of a scam that I did at my very first job, which I ultimately got fired from. Not for this reason, but this did make it a little bittersweet. It made the firing a little bittersweet. I'll tell the theft story first, and then I'll get into the firing. So, I was a waiter at an old folks home, like a retirement community, and every 5 years or whatever, they did this when they scraped enough money from the residents and splurged on the employees a little bit. They had like a company, a little corral, a get together, if you will, for the employees. And so what it was just like the common area room where the old people would play chess. And there were like little carnival games set up and little things here and there. And every time you played a game, they gave you a raffle ticket. And the idea was to collect raffle tickets, and then you drop them in the bowls in front of these different prizes that you wanted to win. So they had a bunch of prizes. They had gift cards. They had T-shirts. They had, little stuff. And then the big one at the end, they were giving away a laptop. So everyone's wanting to put their raffle tickets in the laptop, obviously. So, and I didn't plan on doing this, by the way. So there comes a point in the little party where they're like, okay, let's go outside now. We're going to do an egg toss competition in teams, and then those teams get like a couple extra tickets. So everybody's walking outside. And I'm like one of the last people to start walking out the door, and I notice that the roll of raffle tickets is just sitting on this table there. So I swiped the raffle ticket. This is a thick Jersey Boardwalk style, stack of raffle tickets. And I just took it, and it's not going to fit in my pocket. So I shoved it down into my pants, and I went outside because everyone had to participate. So now I got this giant ass bulge in my pants, and I didn't tell anybody. So like my partner, they're seeing me kind of like moving weird and hunched over. They're like, what the fuck's going on? So now I did like a 10-minute egg toss with a roll of raffle tickets in my pants. And we didn't get that far. We lost. But then we went back inside, and I bolted to the bathroom, and you had to like write your name on the raffle ticket, and then that's how they knew which one belonged to you. And I wrote my name on almost all the fucking, so many raffle tickets, an unbelievable amount of raffle tickets. And then I just peppered them into the laptop thing. Like, I just kept doing laps. Play a game here, drop 5 tickets in. Play another game, drop 10 tickets in. I mean, this thing was flooded with my name. And then at the end, they did the drawing. I didn't do any other prizes because I didn't want to win anything else except the laptop. And, they went to the drawing, and I had to put on the acting performance of a lifetime. And, they draw my name, and I was like, me? What? Me? What? Come on, stop. And I didn't tell anybody. And I took that laptop. And then it was probably maybe 2 weeks later. We were in, we're in the main dining room, and the retirement community had just built a brand new bistro that like was sectioned off of the main dining room. It was a brand new like outdoor bistro, and they had opened it to the residents. There's a new waitress in there, and she was way in over her head. I mean, she was just really struggling in there. She had a lot on her plate, and the other server, I guess, wasn't, they were off in their own sections, and there was this old couple in there that, a little grumpy, a little whatever, their husband and wife, and she's just really struggling, not giving attentive service. And the wife starts to like cough a little bit on some of the food, and he's like, hey, can I get a glass of water for my wife? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Doesn't get the glass of water, so he's a little upset, asks again, and she once again forgets to get the water. And what happened next, he denied and said that he had like a minor stroke and a lapse of judgment, and not even a lapse of judgment, that's not the word, like a mental episode, blacked out, didn't know where he was, old person fart moment. That's what he said would happen. He got up out of his chair, walked down the hallway, out of the bistro, into the main restaurant, over to the pop-up salad bar that they had just built, pulled down his pants, and pissed all over the salad bar. I mean, he just whizzed all over the beets and the broccoli and the romaine, just spreading it around. Which, if you're like, oh, I thought I was in the stall. If you pee like that in the stall and in the urinal, you're an animal. So he's just pissing over all of this. I'm walking back to the kitchen. I just busted a table. I look over. I did a fucking quadruple take. And I just see this old dude's wang spraying everywhere. And I was like, all right, well, it's time for me to leave. So everyone starts freaking out. Obviously, it's the talk of the night. And everybody's like just losing their shit. And this was like, and then we go home and I go on Facebook. This is like early-ish days of Facebook, where you just, I would share it. You'd share everything. And everyone's like, oh my God, this old guy. This old guy peed on the thing. Oh my God, you should have seen this one dude at my work today. And I was like, I want to make a status, except I dropped names. This is not his name, but I was like, oh, Mr. Evans, fucking, pissed all over the salad bar. What a kook. Or I don't know what I said, but can you say kook? I don't know. And so the head administrator, her daughter was a server there, and was actually, it's a friend in the same friend circle as like me, my brother, and stuff. So I was like, she's like, hey, maybe take this down. And I was like, what? I'm not like friends with any of my bosses on here. They're not gonna see it. Who gives a fuck? And then I get a call the next day from said administrator asking me to come in. It was my day off. Asking me to come into work and bring my laptop. And I'm like, oh, okay. I immediately knew what it was. She ratted on me. And I was like, I'm not going to come into work. I can't come in. I have babysitting. So yeah, that's it. And then so she explained to me, this is what you did. This is against policy, yada, yada, yada. You're terminated. And I almost dropped, because it was over at that point, right? I almost was like, well, that's okay. I'm going to college in a few months. I respect your guys' decision. Oh, by the way, I basically stole this laptop from you. Peace out. Now, they can't prove that, but it would have been, I wish I said it. I wish, they really wanted the laptop back. Because I don't know, they thought I like made the post on the laptop and they were going to like take the laptop back. I was like, yeah, I sold it. I sold it already to my younger brother, which I didn't sell it to him. I sold it to a friend of mine at the time. But yeah, that was like one of my big first scam, theft, heists, whatever you want to call it. Those are the good old days. Legend has it they still talk about me. They still mention that story about how I got fired. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Fucking throat's dry. So that Chinese rocket crashed, huh? Chinese rocket debris or whatever that we all thought was going to, I don't know. It was like people were freaking out for like 2 seconds. Oh my God, it's going to land on, in a mall or something. No, it was like 90% that it was going to land in the ocean, and it did land in the ocean. But the thing I don't get is where is the outcry? Like, is it cool? Is it cool that we just have, Chinese rocket parts crashing into the ocean, and we're just like, well, at least it wasn't on land. Yeah, but it's in the ocean. Where is the, I want to hear from the straw people. That's who I want to hear from. I want to hear from the people who are like, you can't use straws because the one turtle, but how much marine life dies when a rocket crashes into the ocean? Where are the numbers on that? I want to see that viral video of just some innocent turtle or some, innocent little porpoise is swimming along, and then all of a sudden a Chinese rocket comes crashing down. Just, some blue whale who's just coming up to release the blowhole and just gets taken out by a rocket. Has that happened? I mean, how often does stuff fall from the sky? It's got to be a lot. They say there's always shit, just like there's just shit constantly floating in our orbit, just space trash. We can't not pollute anything. Everything we get our hands on, we pollute. Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. I guarantee you if we go there within 6 months, it's going to be a shithole. It has to be. Can you imagine? I mean, think about how bad we treat the Earth, and this is really important because right now it's all we have. The Earth is all we have, and we treat it like shit. Can you imagine if we had another thing? If we had Mars that's pristine, there's no way we'd be able to appreciate it. We're just gonna be throwing shit out, dumping shit on the Mars street or whatever. It's gonna be a shithole. It has to be, because that's what we do. It's like, if we just, all these people that are gonna go to Mars that had nothing to do with getting to Mars are not going to appreciate it. Elon's going to appreciate it. He's going to have, and he's going to have the most dope house. And I don't know. Hopefully he figures out a way. Or I guess it wouldn't even, what am I saying? It's in space, so it's not just you can't kick it onto the street. All you got to do is throw it up into the air, and then it just gets released into the universe forever. And then it's going to land, there's going to be some other alien planet a gazillion light years away. And then, they're going to be like, what is that? And they're going to see something coming towards them, and it's just a fucking XL McDonald's bag that we kicked out into space. That's how other planets are going to realize that we're in it now, that we're in the game. That's how other planets are going to get notified, oh, the humans are here. Because they're just going to be minding their own business. It's going to be a nice, quiet day on... insert planet name, and then just McDonald's bags are going to be flying through the air, an old pair of shoes with a hole in them, there's going to be straws, and they're just going to land on these other planets and be like, God damn it, these fucking people. And then they're going to come and they're going to take Mars, Because I feel like Earth, they let us have that. But if we start coming for some shit, that's when I think we're really going to see the aliens. Because this doesn't feel like, Earth doesn't feel like, oh, we're in space. This is our own world. And, for all of humanity, we've never bothered anybody. But the moment we just start trying to, extend the edge of our turf a little bit, we're going to end up like that girl who went to Times Square from Rhode Island. We're going to end up like her, just wanting to go see the Statue of Liberty, and we're going to get caught in the foot. I think that's what's going to happen. There's no way it just ends all pretty and we're on Mars and then we don't see anything. I mean, realistically, I don't know, man. I was gonna say like anyone who's alive right now is probably not gonna be the one who's like flourishing on Mars. It's gonna be crappy for a long time. But who knows? Who fucking knows? That Elon dude is he's just out of his mind enough to make shit happen. Like he could get us onto Mars. He's got electric cars. He's got a boring company. But he can't do SNL. I'll say that. Did you catch that? I mean, he got through, I'll say he got through his monologue with the help of his mother, who also, shouldn't be speaking to anybody. But yeah, I mean, it's just the cold open sketch. I mean, it was so tough. SNL is already not very funny, and I respect the fact that they let him do it and that he wanted to try it, but good God, I mean, just the capacity for levity in that dude, it just runs through so many computer filters to where when it finally spits out, I mean, there's just no timing. It was god awful. I mean, it was pretty tough. But that's kind of what I think that's what most people expected. They expected that, and they expected Doge to fucking go to the moon, which it didn't. Woke up this morning and it fucking tanked. So thanks for that. Thanks for saying it was a scam, Elon. Why don't you just sit back in the lab and get us to the red planet? Huh? Can we just do that? Do you have to ruin everything? That's not true. You didn't ruin everything. I had to cancel my New York Times subscription. I didn't have to. I wanted to because I stopped reading it. I wake up every day with these fucking emails from them that are just so gloom and doom. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna listen or read the news, like I'll support a legit publication, and I'm not saying that they're not legit and all that stuff, but it's too much. Most things online, if you want to find out about them, you could just like find the article online. Like you can just, if you Google it enough, somebody will have, made that article free on the New York Times. And I only, like on the big shit, that's what I want to see the coverage from the New York Times about. They're not really doing anything interesting on there. That's what Twitter's for. Twitter's for just fake wild shit and why is Kim Kardashian crying? That's what Twitter's good for. So I wanted to cancel New York Times, and they don't make it easy. It's not like you just go on their website, you go to your account, and then cancel subscription. You got to like send an email or you got to chat with a robot about canceling it. And so initially it was $4 a month. That's what I was paying. And I guess I probably accepted something a while back, and I was paying $8 a month. So that's really what kicked me over. I'm like, I'm not paying fucking $8 for you to tell me what happened today. Not going to happen. So I had to chat with this robot, and they were like, oh, before you're canceling, we've just cleared up some space to reduce your rate. So we can now offer $2 a week. And I responded to the robot. I said, hey, that's still $8 a month. Cancel, please. And they were like, oh, okay. We totally understand. We understand that the financial struggles have been a burden on everybody, and we respect your decision to want to save up and yada, yada. But good news. We have another offer, and we're going to bring it down to $1 a week. $1. And I hate when cancellation services do this. It's the fucking worst because it's like, hey, you could have done that the whole time. You could have done that. I could have been paying that much. Like, how many things am I paying for? Like, if I went to Netflix and I said, hey, I want to cancel, would they be like, oh, do you want to just pay less money? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do want to pay less money. We all want to fucking pay less money. We should try that. Just call someone on the phone and be like, I want to fucking cancel it. It's way too much money. And they'll probably talk you down to try and get you to stay. I mean, it's a good, and it just points out how horseshit it is. It's like, you don't believe in yourself. I would respect the New York Times more if I was like, hey, $8 a month, way too much money for this kind of service. I want to cancel. And they're like, yeah, okay, fine. $8 is the price. Go fuck yourself. You don't want it? You don't want it. But don't come crawling back. Be like, what about 70 cents per fucking, article every last Thursday of the third quarter? It's like, just relax. You look weak. You look a little weak. And I don't know. It's like I want to support. I don't really. You know what it is? I don't want to support. I want to be a person who reads the New York Times. That's really all it is. I want to be able to say, like, yeah, I read the New York Times. I support real journalism. I want to be one. I deep down want to be one of those people. You'd be like, where do you get your news? Oh, okay. Well, I support real journalism and real journalists. I donate to the New York Times. I'm a donor. Okay, I'm on the board. I get their emails, 3 of them every morning. Oh, they're annoying. I want to be one of those fucking people. I don't know why. That makes me feel like, oh, I'm special because I read the New York Times. Honestly, their articles are way too fucking long. They're way too long. That's why you're losing. You're losing because real journalism is boring as shit. It's so boring. And also, like, half of them are just, you're trying to decipher between what is the news and what's an opinion. And some of their headlines, it's like, it'll be, I reposted one time. It was like, debatable. George Floyd is dead. Now what? And it's like, how is that debatable? Pretty sure he's dead. Pretty sure he died. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. If you're a journalist and you want to put out your opinion, do that on Twitter. That's what that is for. The reason I donate to the New York Times is because I want to get a deep look into what actually happened, and I read one story maybe, a week, and wasn't a good investment. Wasn't a good investment. Was it a better investment than Dogecoin? We'll find out. We'll find out, won't we, Elon? We'll see if it can climb back up. I believe in the dog now. I believe in the dog. I have to, because I'm invested. Because I'm a smart person. That's how you know I'm a smart person. I believe in meme currency and print media. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. That's what I'm taking to the bank. That's the future. The future is newspapers and meme currency. That's what I believe in. So if you're not on board, you're going to get left in the dust. What do you think the future is, huh? What do you think the future is Bitcoin? Huh? Do you think the future model of media is subscription services and to sell ad revenue and data collection? Is that what you think? No, I think it's newspapers. I think it's daytime television cut with commercials every 30 seconds. That's what I think it is. I think it's not at home. God damn it, who's fucking calling me? It's an email. It's definitely not that. It's not, streaming services, sitting at home. It's going to the theater. That's what the future is. So if you want advice on what to believe in and what to invest in, this is the show you come to. This is the show, because I'm going to tell you, do you want to live in a 1-bedroom in Astoria? Is that where do you want to get to this level? Listen to your boy, okay? But if you want to, I don't know, invest in electric cars or something stupid like that, you go right ahead. Dream your dream. I'll be over here with my coal. Okay? Okay. All right, that's enough nonsense. That's enough nonsense for this week. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. I record this on Sundays. I hope all you mothers had a good Mother's Day where your son called you or your daughter called you and they're like, hey, what's going on? Happy Mother's Day. And then here's how awesome moms are. You call them on Mother's Day and then they're like, oh, thanks. And then they just ask you about your day. It's like, no, man, this is about you. Like, every time I call my mom on like her birthday or Mother's Day, I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. She's like, thanks. What's up? What's going on with you? What are you getting into today? And I'm like, all right, well, I guess your time is over. You had your spotlight when I said happy birthday, and now it's about me. Let me share my story. I always end up sending like, I send like e-gift cards and little stuff like that on Mother's Day. I'll be honest, I always forget about the flowers. I'm not good on remembering the flowers. And you can't, if you want to send flowers on Mother's Day, it is the worst like gift-giving holiday that you can procrastinate on because they get you. They know you're going to procrastinate. They know you are. Like, I was like, for the heck of it, I ended up sending a gift card. But I wanted to see, maybe I'll send some flowers. It's Saturday, and Mother's Day is the next day. So I go on there. I go to 1-800-Flowers, and turns out the only flowers that they have left, there's nothing left. There's a field of roses that you can buy for $7,000. It's that, or there's a 3-gallon drum of kettle corn. That's what you can, those are the options left. I'm like, what? Who needs fucking a field of flowers? Oh is she a Kardashian? Like, what? It's a scam. It's a fucking scam. Because you don't have any more smaller arrangements. You only have the gigantic arrangements. Well, then just break that shit up and make more arrangements. Isn't the goal to sell all the flowers? I know you want people to buy the bigger ones, but they're not. Nobody loves their mother that much. They're not going to buy $400 flower arrangements. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the symbol, it's the gesture that counts anyway, right? At this point, I think my mother would rather have the kettle corn, but I didn't do it. Just went with like a gift card to a local place because it's more practical and yeah, that's what I'm about. I'm about practicality. Okay, I'm about gift cards and print media. So that's it. That's a podcast this week. I've been anxiously waiting to put this gum in my mouth, but I don't want to be one of those people that chews gum into the microphone. So, yeah, we'll see you next week. Enjoy your week. Thanks for listening. Like, share, and do all that bullshit. I'm gonna be starting a comedy show with a buddy of mine soon in New York. So if you're listening to this and you're in New York, look out for that and come out to a show. Because that's fun, and comedy is fun, and if you're terrified of COVID and you want to live in your house forever, then do that too. But we're not going to stream it, so yeah. All right, see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.